free advice from an analyst, which is a very rare thing. I think people are going to gravitate towards that.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting. It was the first time they've been on. We talked about what it was like for them to be consultants. They have 775 analysts we talked about. So, I mean, overall, not the biggest in SoundCloud, but certainly the biggest overall.
Well, I think it was a big deal because this was right after the announcement that Gartner was dropping the service desk right out of the Magic Quadrant. And so it was Hornbill who had helped us get them on, and we were able to get them to clarify their new focus. And since then, we've seen that they have now this IT service management and support, or IT service and support management.
ITSM.
Yeah. So, it was breaking news, right? I mean, this podcast was the one to bring it. And I really think, for me, it helped give me an insight into what Gartner's role is going to be in the future of analysts, and how we can look to them to start to set these categories for us, right? We're also hyped up about innovation, but as we've talked about before, and maybe we talked about it on that show, innovation in my mind comes in two ways: displacement or disruption. And I think with what we've seen with Gartner is service management has been a little bit of both, but a lot of displacement has gone on. With the service support, it seems like very technical, that it's just a term, but in reality, we're seeing a lot of disruption now with, cloud integration and BYOD being wrapped in from a technology perspective around service management. So I think it was good. It was a good clarification of their role, good clarification of the quadrant, and of course, it introduced Gerard, who's been a repeat guest on the show. I think it was a hit. Yeah,
he shows up again at number 5. Mark Kawasaki, as someone who's occasionally listened to the show, I'd like you to maybe take a stab at number 3. Number 3 was I Will Cut You, DevOps and Culture with John Willis. 2,600 SoundCloud listens, 9,700 total listens. Did you get a chance to listen to that show? Have you know anything about the DevOps movement? Do you have any insight into why that was number 3?
Yeah, I watched it. DevOps is something I think a lot of people don't understand. So it's probably just a lot of people trying to hear about it from somebody that really knows. And it was a good discussion.
I'll tell you something that's jumped out of that show for me. Prior to that recording, I was watching DevOps in the industry, and you saw a lot about the movement itself. It was almost played down the culture. John came on that show and really hyped up the culture, right? He basically, in essence, on that show said, without culture, this isn't even anything, right?
Yeah,
we shouldn't be having this conversation.
I've got the notes here. He was talking about